The mind is the most powerful and mysterious part of who we are. It is the invisible control center that determines the quality of our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Every word we speak, every decision we make, and every reaction we give to life begins in the mind. To understand the power of the mind is to understand the source of all human potential. You cannot rise higher than your thoughts, because your thoughts build the foundation of your reality. The way you think determines how you live, how you see yourself, and how you respond to the world. A person with a disciplined mind will always rise above one who is controlled by impulse or emotion. The mind is not just a tool, it is the architect of your destiny. You must learn to use it with wisdom, care, and purpose. Most people underestimate how powerful their thoughts are. They believe that circumstances shape their lives, but in truth, it is their mental response to those circumstances that makes the difference. The same challenge that breaks one person can strengthen another, depending on the state of their mind. That is why two people can go through the same pain, the same loss, and yet one finds purpose while the other falls into despair. The difference lies in how they think. The mind has the ability to create meaning out of anything. It can turn pain into wisdom or wisdom into confusion, depending on who is in control. When you learn to control your mind, you gain the ability to create peace, even in the middle of chaos. The human mind has incredible potential to direct your energy, focus your vision, and control your actions. But like any powerful machine, it must be trained. An undisciplined mind becomes a factory for confusion, fear, and self-doubt. It will react to everything, allowing emotions and impulses to take over. But a trained mind, one that has been guided with purpose, becomes a powerful ally. It knows when to be still and when to take action. It knows what to ignore and what to hold on to. It does not waste energy on things that do not build your future. Controlling the mind means teaching it to obey your higher goals rather than your temporary feelings. Every great achievement in history began with a thought. Every innovation, every breakthrough, every change in society started as an idea in someone's mind. But those who made their thoughts reality were the ones who mastered their inner world first. They refused to be slaves to fear or doubt. They learned how to use their mental energy to stay focused, patient, and determined. That is the secret to all greatness. If you can direct your mind, you can direct your destiny. It all begins with awareness. Awareness of what you think, what you believe, and what you allow to influence you. Your mind is your kingdom. Rule it with clarity, discipline, and truth, and you will master not only your thoughts but your entire life. Everything you see in your life today began as a thought. Your habits, your confidence, your fears, and even your relationships are the results of what you repeatedly allowed yourself to think. Thoughts are like seeds planted in the soil of the mind. Whatever you plant will eventually grow. If you constantly plant thoughts of doubt, failure, or fear, you will harvest insecurity and limitation. But if you plant thoughts of strength, courage, and purpose, your life will begin to reflect those qualities. The mind is neutral. It does not choose what to grow. It simply multiplies what you give it. That is why your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. The pattern of your life will always mirror the pattern of your thinking. Change your thoughts, and your entire life will begin to move in a new direction. Many people try to change their circumstances without changing their thinking, and they wonder why they remain stuck in the same cycles. But the truth is, circumstances are just mirrors reflecting the condition of your inner world. If your thoughts are filled with negativity, even good opportunities will appear impossible. But when your thoughts are filled with hope, wisdom, and clarity, challenges become opportunities for growth. The most successful people are not those who have perfect conditions, but those who have trained their minds to see possibility where others see problems. The difference between success and failure often begins with a single dominant thought that shapes how you interpret the world. When you understand that thoughts create beliefs and beliefs shape actions, you begin to realize how powerful the mind truly is. A person who believes they are capable will act with confidence. A person who believes they are weak will act with hesitation. Every belief, whether true or false, becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The mind will always find evidence to support what it already believes. That is why you must guard your thoughts with great care. If you constantly tell yourself you are not good enough, your mind will find reasons to prove it. But if you begin to think, I am capable of growth and learning, your mind will start finding ways to make that belief real. Controlling your thoughts requires constant awareness. You must become the observer of your own thinking, not the victim of it. When a negative thought enters, don't fight it, replace it. Speak truth to yourself. Feed your mind with words that build rather than destroy. The more you repeat a thought, the more it becomes part of your identity. Repetition is how the mind is programmed. So, if you want to shape a new destiny, you must repeat empowering thoughts until they become natural. Your life will always follow the direction of your most dominant thoughts. You are not just a thinker, you are a creator. Master your thoughts, and you will master your future. Awareness is the first doorway to transformation. You cannot change what you do not understand, and you cannot master what you do not recognize. Many people live their entire lives reacting to situations without ever realizing that their reactions come from unexamined thoughts and habits buried deep within their minds. They move through life on mental autopilot, repeating the same patterns because they have never stopped to observe the source of their behavior. Awareness is the light that exposes the hidden programs running your life. Once you become aware of how your mind operates, what triggers your emotions, what beliefs drive your actions, what thoughts dominate your day, you gain the power to change them. You cannot control the wind, but you can control the direction of your sail. Awareness is that sail. It allows you to steer your life intentionally. The first step toward mastering yourself is to become a student of your own mind. Begin to notice what you think about most of the time. What kind of inner conversations are you having? Are they filled with encouragement or fear? Awareness begins when you stop running from your thoughts and start listening to them. When you observe your thinking without judgment, you start to understand yourself on a deeper level. You realize that not every thought deserves your attention, and not every emotion requires your reaction. Awareness creates space between stimulus and response, and in that space lies your freedom. The more aware you are, the more control you have over your decisions and your direction in life. Self-awareness is not about perfection, it is about honesty. It means facing your weaknesses with courage and your strengths with humility. It means asking yourself tough questions like, why do I feel this way? Or, why did I react like that? These questions open your mind to the truth, and truth always brings clarity. Without awareness, you are blind to your own limitations. But with awareness, even your flaws become opportunities for growth. Awareness turns pain into lessons, mistakes into wisdom, and confusion into understanding. The more aware you become, the less control the outside world has over you, because you stop being driven by impulse and start being guided by insight. Developing awareness requires stillness. In a world full of noise and distractions, it takes discipline to pause and reflect. Spend time in silence, not to escape the world, but to understand it from within. Observe your thoughts like a teacher watching a student, with patience and purpose. Awareness grows in the moments when you choose to be present, when you decide to watch rather than react. And as your awareness deepens, you begin to see that mastery is not about controlling life, but about understanding yourself in every situation. The mind that sees clearly is the mind that can lead powerfully. Awareness is the beginning of that leadership. Emotions are a beautiful part of being human, but when left unchecked, they can become dangerous masters. They are meant to serve you, to signal what is happening within and around you, not to dictate your choices or control your actions. When emotions rule the mind, they create instability. Decisions are made out of impulse. Words are spoken without thought, and actions lead to regret. But when discipline governs emotion, peace and clarity begin to grow. Discipline is the skill of choosing your response rather than reacting to your feelings. It allows you to pause, evaluate, and act based on wisdom instead of temporary emotion. The mind that is disciplined does not deny feelings, it simply refuses to be ruled by them. Every emotion carries energy. Anger, joy, sadness, excitement. All are forms of energy that can either build or destroy. The difference lies in control. A person who lets emotions run freely, without direction, wastes energy on reaction rather than progress. But a person who channels emotion through discipline transforms that same energy into power, creativity, and purpose. The key is learning to feel without surrendering to the feeling. When anger rises, observe it, breathe, and ask, what is this teaching me? When fear appears, don't run from it. Study it. Every emotion, if properly understood, can become a teacher guiding you toward greater maturity and strength. Discipline over emotion is not about suppressing how you feel. It is about mastering how you respond. Some believe that strong people are those who show no emotion, but true strength lies in being able to feel deeply and still choose wisely. Anyone can react, but it takes wisdom to respond. Discipline creates that space between emotion and action, where clarity can speak. The more you practice discipline, the more control you gain over your inner world. You begin to realize that emotions are temporary visitors, while your purpose is permanent. If you allow emotions to lead, they will constantly change your direction. But when purpose leads, emotions learn to follow. There will be moments when your emotions push you to give up, lash out, or doubt yourself. In those moments, remember that feelings are not facts, they are passing signals. A disciplined mind listens to the emotion, but acts from understanding. You might feel tired, but discipline says keep moving. You might feel angry, but discipline says respond with calm. You might feel afraid, but discipline says step forward anyway. That is the difference between being controlled by emotion and controlling it. Mastery of emotion comes with practice. Each time you resist reacting, you strengthen your will. Each time you choose patience over frustration, you prove to yourself that you are in control. Discipline is not punishment, it is training. Training your emotions to serve your goals instead of sabotage them. When emotion becomes a servant of discipline, peace takes over, and the mind becomes unshakable. Focus is the invisible force that determines the direction and power of your life. Whatever you consistently focus on expands. It grows stronger, it takes form, and eventually, it becomes your reality. The mind is like a lens. What you focus on becomes clear and powerful, while everything else fades into the background. Most people fail not because they lack potential, but because their focus is scattered. They try to chase too many things at once, and in doing so, they weaken their energy. A divided focus creates confusion, but a concentrated focus creates momentum. When you decide what truly matters and direct your thoughts, time, and energy toward it, you activate a power within you that transforms possibilities into achievements. The world is full of distractions fighting for your attention. Every sound, screen, and situation is competing to occupy your mental space. But your focus is your most valuable currency. What you give it to determines what kind of life you build. If you constantly focus on problems, they will grow. If you focus on progress, you will move forward. The mind cannot tell the difference between what you imagine and what you experience. When you fix your attention on fear, your body reacts as if danger is already present. But when you focus on solutions and growth, your mind begins to find ways to create them. Your focus trains your subconscious. It tells your inner world what to produce in your outer world. Learning to control your focus means learning to choose your direction. It requires the discipline to say no to things that do not align with your purpose. You cannot focus on everything and expect excellence. Success demands selectivity, the ability to eliminate the unnecessary so the essential can flourish. Every great thinker, leader, or achiever has mastered the art of focus. They have learned to protect their attention from distractions that do not serve their goals. Focus is not just about concentration, it is about clarity, knowing exactly where you are going and why. Without clarity, even hard work becomes scattered effort. But when clarity guides focus, every action becomes purposeful. To strengthen your focus, start by being intentional with your thoughts. Ask yourself each day, what deserves my attention right now? Direct your mental energy to what builds you, not what breaks you. When your mind wanders toward worry or doubt, gently bring it back to gratitude and vision. Just as a muscle grows with repeated use, your ability to focus strengthens with practice. Each time you resist distraction, you are training your mind to obey your goals. The more consistent your focus becomes, the more powerful your results will be. Focus is the bridge between dreams and reality. It turns ideas into action and vision into victory. Guard it carefully, because whatever you focus on shapes who you become. A mind that is focused cannot be easily defeated, and a person who guards their focus masters their destiny. The mind is renewed not by chance, but through continuous learning, reflection, and alignment with truth. Knowledge is the food of the mind, and just as the body weakens without nourishment, the mind deteriorates without wisdom. Renewal begins when you decide to stop reacting to life and start understanding it. Every person faces challenges, but not everyone grows from them. The difference lies in perspective. A renewed mind looks at difficulty as a lesson, not a punishment. It asks, what is this teaching me? Instead of, why is this happening to me? Renewal is not about forgetting the past, it is about transforming the way you interpret it. When your mind is filled with truth and understanding, pain becomes wisdom, and failure becomes direction. Many people try to change their lives by changing their surroundings, but true transformation happens from within. A renewed mind cannot be built on ignorance or negativity. It must be fed with truth, reflection, and purpose. What you allow into your mind determines what will grow in it. If you feed it fear, it will produce limitation. If you feed it hope and understanding, it will produce strength. Renewal requires replacing old patterns of thought with new ones that align with who you are becoming, not who you were. This process takes effort because the mind tends to cling to what is familiar, even if it is destructive. That is why daily reflection is so powerful. It allows you to observe your thoughts, evaluate your beliefs, and replace what no longer serves your purpose. Knowledge is more than information. It is transformation. You can read many books, listen to countless speeches, and still remain unchanged. If what you learn does not reach your inner understanding, renewal happens when knowledge becomes revelation, when truth moves from your mind to your heart, and begins to influence your behavior. A renewed mind asks for wisdom, not just facts. It seeks understanding, not merely opinions. The more you learn about yourself and the world, the more your thinking expands beyond fear and limitation. Renewal empowers you to see opportunities where others see obstacles, to remain calm where others panic, and to act with purpose when others hesitate. Aligning your mind with truth also means letting go of lies that hold you back. Many people live under mental chains. Beliefs that they are not good enough, not capable, or not worthy of success. These are not facts. They are illusions that crumble under the light of truth. To renew your mind, you must challenge every belief that keeps you small. Replace it with knowledge that builds confidence and direction. The more you align your thoughts with truth, the more peace and clarity you experience. Renewal is a daily commitment. Every morning, choose what you will feed your mind. Choose learning over ignorance, reflection over reaction, and growth over comfort. The renewed mind is powerful, calm, and creative. It no longer reacts to pressure, it responds with purpose. Mastery of self is not an event. It is a journey built one choice at a time. Every day presents countless opportunities to practice self-discipline, to choose what aligns with your vision, and to reject what diminishes your potential. The mind, the body, and the emotions are interconnected instruments that require consistent training. If you neglect them for a day, the effect may be small, but neglect over weeks and months creates habits that shape your life in ways you may not even notice. True mastery is therefore a daily practice, not a sudden revelation. It is built in small, deliberate acts that over time transform your character, your behavior, and ultimately, your destiny. To master yourself, you must first take responsibility for every aspect of your life. Many people live in blame, blaming circumstances, blaming others, or blaming luck. But mastery begins with ownership. Every thought you allow, every word you speak, and every action you take is under your control. No external factor can force you to think, speak, or act against your will unless you permit it. The moment you accept full responsibility for your inner life, you step into the power of mastery. This is not easy because responsibility requires honesty and courage. It requires acknowledging your weaknesses while also embracing your potential for growth. But responsibility is the foundation upon which self-mastery is built. Habits are the building blocks of mastery. Daily choices create patterns, and patterns define character. Mastery is therefore the consistent application of discipline through habitual action. Each time you choose patience over anger, focus over distraction, or courage over fear, you strengthen the framework of self-control. The person who masters themselves is not perfect, but they are persistent. They understand that failure is not a reason to give up, but an opportunity to learn. Mastery grows as you consistently practice the right actions, even when you do not feel like it. It is in these small, repeated decisions that your life's trajectory is shaped. Self-mastery also requires alignment of your mind, heart, and actions with your purpose. Without purpose, discipline becomes mechanical and unsustainable. With purpose, every choice gains meaning, and every effort contributes to a larger vision. Purpose acts as a compass for the mind, guiding thoughts, emotions, and behaviors toward growth, rather than distraction. A person without purpose may master their impulses temporarily, but true mastery flourishes only when it is connected to a higher goal, a reason for becoming more than what they are. Reflection is another essential component of mastery. A mind that never reviews itself cannot improve. Daily reflection allows you to assess your thoughts, measure your progress, and adjust your actions. It creates awareness of strengths to build on and weaknesses to correct. The practice of reflection ensures that mastery is not accidental but intentional. Finally, mastery is a commitment to growth over comfort. It requires patience, persistence, and the willingness to embrace challenges as teachers. Each day is an opportunity to practice self-control, focus, and discipline. The person who masters themselves cannot be controlled by external circumstances because they have learned to lead from within. Through daily practice, reflection, and alignment with purpose, self-mastery becomes not just a goal but a lifestyle, shaping every decision, every habit, and ultimately, the destiny of a life lived with intention.